Please take your seats. May we call on the Secretary, Ramon M. Lopez, for the presentation of business agreements.
Mr. President, we are pleased to present to you this noon our partners in business in India and the Philippines, colleagues in the Philippine government, and also, of course, we have here the members of the Philippine delegation. Allow me to present to you the outcomes of our business activities and engagements in New Delhi, India. Our team met strategic partners in Indian business community, including those that are already present in the Philippines and those that are planning to invest in the country. This will not be possible without the support given to us by the members of your strong business delegation, led here by Mr. George Barcelon, Mr. Rex Daryanani, and Mr. Johnny Chotrani. May I request the Philippine business delegation to stand up. Some of them, Mr. President, are doing business already in India, and they are talking to their respective partners to do business also in the Philippines. Mr. President, I'm glad to report that our business engagements resulted to 12 business agreements, 2 MOUs, Memorandum of Understanding, and 10 letters of intent. Specifically, investment commitment amounting to at least $1.25 billion, at least 10,000 jobs in infrastructure development, renewable energy, and IT and business services, which includes customer service and experience transformation bundled with artificial intelligence, robotics, process automation, and software services. Numbers can increase as companies finalize their plans. Specific calls to action in pursuing opportunities for trade and investment in affordable and quality medicine, which is really at the top of your agenda. Specifically, this company is committed to either expand or start operations in the Philippines. And allow me just to go over a briefer on each company. The Adani Green Energy Limited is committed to start operations in the Philippines and pledge to invest in renewable energy up to 1,000 megawatts. They're also the biggest here in India. Approximately, the investment they're looking at is about $1.1 billion, creating more than 3,000 jobs. We have today Sri Jayant Parimat, the CEO of Adani Green Energy Limited. Then we have Hinduja Group Solutions, HGS, represented here by the CEO, global CEO of HGS, Mr. Partha Desarkar. HGS is one of the first IT BPM company in the Philippines and committed to add 2 to 4 additional sites, creating additional 2,000 jobs, worth $20 million. And the country manager of HGS Philippines is also here, Pushkar Misra. Okay. So he's also Filipino by heart already by now, Mr. President. Then, if you're familiar, there is also the popular The Farm at San Benito, that's Nara Wellness Resorts. We have Naresh Katar, the chairman and CEO, is committed to expand operations in Davao and Palawan, expected to generate $15 to $20 million of investment and 500 jobs. The farm is known for medical wellness and have been awarded as one of the best in the world. Thank you. Then KG Information Systems Private Limited, KGISL, plans to start operation in the Philippines, and they are visiting next month. KGISL specializes in IT consulting and services delivery. Mr. Prasad Shanmugam, the CEO, is here today. Thank you. Then we have Interglobe Technologies. Interglobe Technologies has been in the Philippines since 2009, committed to expand operation by building 2 more contact centers. Representing Interglobe Technologies, Mr. Vipul Doshi, the CEO. The sister company, Interglobe Air Transport Limited, represented here by Mr. Siddhanta Sharma, the President and CEO of Interglobe Air Transport Limited. They will partner with the Philippine Airlines and the Department of Tourism to promote tourism and connectivity in the Philippines. Then we have the IT and Business Process Association of the Philippines, IBPAP. IBPAP renewed its MOU with the National Association of Software and Service Companies, or NASSCOM, their counterpart in India, and they agreed to conduct regular consultations to address common challenges in IT BPM sector. IBPAP is led here by Ms. Cathy Salceda Ileto. Joining us also is Mr. Manoj, the President of Enterprise Business, Tech Mahindra. Tech Mahindra entered the Philippines in 2008, and they have 6 delivery centers employing 5,000 Filipinos servicing key global customers. Tech Mahindra committed to add 2,000 more jobs. Then we have SPI Global. SPI Global is a market leader in technology-driven solutions. The Philippines hosts a major part of the company's operations. SPI Global committed to $2 million worth of investment, generating 700 jobs. Ms. Celeste Ilagan is the SVP, Marketing and External Affairs of SPI Global. Thank you. The Sant, Srinivas Bomidala, Chairman of Airports of GMR. GMR is one of India's leading infrastructure companies, and currently the Philippines they are upgrading our airports in Cebu, and recently won the bid in Clark. And I understand they are submitting some unsolicited proposal for NAIA. Then 11th, Mr. Tamoy Chakrabarti, the Global Head Government Projects from Tata Consulting Services. Tata Consulting is one of the companies under the Tata Group, one of the biggest in India. TCS currently employs around 3,500 Filipinos. Last but not the least, Mr. Harsh Bhatia, Vice President of Wipro, is a global information technology consulting and outsourcing company, and one of the few IT BPM that decided to locate and start operations in the countryside, namely Cebu, Iloilo, and Bacolod. Mr. President, in connection with your trust of bringing in affordable and quality medicines to our kababayans, we also met a couple of companies led here by the Pharmaceuticals Export Promotion Council of India, or Pharmexil, and they have committed to facilitate the availability of affordable and quality medicines in the country, and hopefully do the toll manufacturing in the Philippines. Dr. Abhay. It is with high hopes that this will pave the way for a stronger and dynamic business relations between our two countries. Mr. President, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, this ends my report on the outcomes of our business engagements at the sidelines of the ASEAN-India Special Commemorative Summit. Salamat po, thank you, and mabuhay. Namaste. And may I now introduce the president, the most popular president in the world today. with over, and this is based on facts, with over 80% satisfaction rating until now. The President of the Republic of the Philippines, Mayor Rodrigo Roa Duterte.
Good noon, and kindly sit down. Thank you for your courtesy. I have a prepared speech, but I have plenty to tell you. I mean, about in excess of 2 hours, maybe. Well, if you do business in the Philippines, I welcome you. I know that in the past there were so many issues about doing business in the Philippines. One is that it was bruited around that the Philippines is noted for its non-compliance of contracts, because that was the result of corruption. Second is that law and order is not good. Well, in any country today, we face the same threat, and that is terrorism. I just had a quarrel so many days ago in Marawi, and we were able to control the situation. I would not say that we won. Nobody wins in a civil war. Everybody loses. The problem is there is a new element everywhere, and it is being adopted, or they are there making some insertions, and that is the ISIS. And that is a threat that everybody should realize that would become a problem worldwide. in the many years to come. It's an ideology that is totally bankrupt, totally empty, and the only objectives there are to kill and destroy. And for nothing, for no reason at all. And the come on is that if you die a martyr, you go to heaven with 42 virgins waiting for you. Well, if I could just make it a come on also for those who would like to go to my country. But if really it is true, you know, I'm half Muslim actually. My grandmother is in Maranao. My father comes from Visayas. So I can talk freely that they do not have the monopoly of discourse in this field. And I said one of the most is promising virgins when you go to heaven. I'd like to have the virgins here, not in heaven. God may not allow it. And so, well, anyway, we have improved many things in my country upon my assumption as president. First is that I am committed to stop graft and corruption. And with it, really, is sometimes it is a practice in the Philippines. It's actually a criminal syndicate going around looking for bids and participate. And it's they go into a cabal, they go around the country playing golf and waiting for any news of any bidding in any local or national office. And they would be there crowding and manipulating by offering the lowest bid as really, and you know, if it's the lowest bid, it is also the lowest in quality. And that is why I say, why is there an early breakage of this equipment? Well, that is the result of the lowest bid. I have a serious talk with Secretary Dominguez, NEDA, and Secretary Lopez. And I said that we have to stop this nonsense. Because the lowest bid is actually a product of corruption. Almost all would dive into the price. But then again, you know, used to, or maybe still now, they have to give to the office, to the engineers working or supervising them, and all of these things. And I said, if you go to the Philippines, and if it's a mega project that's beginning, I will just go for not really a Swiss challenge, but turnkey basis. You build me this thing, and it's almost like Swiss challenge. Go over the plans. And if you think you can build for me this, I will pay you. In a matter of days. That's why in applying for papers and everything, there are some offices, but I have fired so many directors of government and even secretaries in the cabinet. I said that they are only given once a month to process the papers. I would discourage you from doing there, except maybe you're a lawyer. And at the first whiff of corruption, let me know. And that is what happened to this President Rocos of the losing bidder of a frigate for the Navy. That is the usual case. The file cases, and the courts are very easy to issue a restraining order, stopping you from proceeding with the project because they would allege corruption. No. So I would like to assure you that no business papers or contracts reaches my table. I allow the secretaries the widest of the elbow room and the paper stuff there. They sign in behalf of the government. I do not sign commercial or financial papers. Nobody reaches, not that kind. It's only about maybe running the government and taking care of source of the local government unit, being the chief executive of the country. Do not go into this kind of thing, either by you or by the government official concerned, because you'll find your papers in the wastebasket, if I come to know it. Just go there, apply, and if you are not familiar with the office or nobody, then you can always go to Ramon. Go to Sunny Dominguez or give me a call. I'll give you my card. Just tell me who's you and I will. I do not give second chances. I said even the week of corruption, I will terminate you. And if you give the bribe money and if you come to know about it, you'll find your applications in the wastebasket. But if you do it right, I will assure you of protection. I will inquire, this is what I intend to do. There's somebody in that office making unreasonable demands or making it hard for you to do business, or nearing maybe a cancellation of previously agreed documents. Let me know. But actually, it is in the Constitution that no law, and for that matter, anybody in government can just go ahead and impair the obligations of contracts. It is not just a law. It is placed there in the Constitution. The problem is corruption has always been a way of life. If I cannot stop it, I just would like to maybe reduce it to the barest minimum. But I can assure you that will be a hassle-free. It would be your fault, actually, if you do not speak out and stand for what you believe is wrong. And I said, I can guarantee you an audience with you and whoever is your protagonist in the government service. I will protect you. I will make the guarantees. Just do not give in to corruption. You are not obliged to even spend 100 pesos for a thing that is legal, and you go there upon our invitation. So we invite, we protect. And I said, I had he was bright, but it's about the IT, and he was favoring and making it everybody, just to be out in 1 month, in 1 month, and on the level of the local governments for clearances and all, it's about 15 days, and for the directors maybe of whatever office. It is also 15 days. And I fire people, even if it's really doubtful. Well, just to prove that there's a book which says that I will maybe ask forgiveness if I fired you for the wrong reason. But I will not ask your permission. Later, maybe I said, I'm sorry, but I do not ask permission to fire anybody. maybe I'll send my regrets. But that is how overzealous I am. For Philippines has always been known to be a corrupt country. And every administration that passed our way had always had a component of corruption in running the government. It will not happen during my time. Nobody is allowed to make money. So if you go there, maybe you can go to whatever your business is, IT or an import of vehicles, you can always DCIT. And we will, Mon Lopez or for that matter, Joey here can refer you to the proper office. I want just to make sure that there is no corruption and everything is run smoothly. And that would be if that is the only contribution that I can give in my lifetime during our generation to my country, then I'd be happy. I remember that, my place, Davao City, in Mindanao, it's on the lowest facing down south. On a clear day, you can see a beautiful lady in the beaches of Australia. That's about 9 hours away, actually. But towards that direction. So at the tip of that island is my city. And we are also immigrants. Now you must understand the social, political, and maybe the other dimensions of the Philippines in doing business. In 1521, Magellan landed somewhere in the central Visayas. With it, he brought along his cannons, his muskets, sword, and religion. I have no issue with my religion. I have so many issues about priests and all. Maybe my number one opponent during the last election was really the Catholic Church. And I said to the people, if you want to follow your priests, your cardinals, and the other idiots of that religion, go to them and, please vote against me. Now, you guys who believe in cleaning the government, going after corruption, killing these idiots or running drugs in my city as if it was just a merchandise like peanuts. Well, we went there in the late 40s. And you know what? The millionaires there, and their son, the Boino, maybe around, the big business were owned by the Indians. The Balchans, Big Chief Basar, Philigian. So they were owned by, most of them were owned by the big one, the department stores. So most of our friends, until now, Balchan, Laila's store is beside, if you go to Davao, it's just beside the Mercury drug. It's the oldest, it's still open. It's thriving, but that was the smaller version of the large department stores of the Indians. And because we were immigrants then practically. We knew each other. And I remember, Perbo is still there. And we get to be invited during my father's time to taste Indian food. So I'm not new to... yeah. So that is just my way of saying that I'd like to welcome you all. And we will protect you, both security and your economics. And the most important thing is just tell us. So we can institute mitigating or remedial measures. But I said, if it's graft and corruption, he goes out immediately. No, and even cabinet members during meetings. I fired one in the midst of a cabinet meeting. And I said, go out of this room. I do not want to see you again. So that is how I would like to insult people for being so stupid. Making money in government. You're not supposed to do that. Avoid Mindanao. There's the martial law there, but it's a martial law that's not really a martial law. It is a martial law for the enemies of the state. But if you're just an ordinary guy there, a businessman, you can hardly even notice there are no soldiers around, only policemen. But in the implementation against the enemies of the state, ISIS, for example, and the rebellious Abu Sayyaf, who are fond of decapitating foreigners kidnapped in front, there's something there in the south that's quite virulent. So, but Visayas and, well, if it's a city, Davao City, it's relatively safe. I can remember when I said, I was a prosecutor I was doing trial work. And when I became mayor, I said, I am not a policeman, I am not a soldier. I am just an ordinary guy here trying to build a city. And after some time I said, when I noticed that it was still in topsy-turvy, I said, do not destroy my city because I will kill you. Do not destroy the young of this country because there are only, we're a poor country. Our pensions, benefits, and all will not even last for 5 years. And if we retire and our children are unproductive because you made them insane and crazy, I will kill you. That was my warning. And I think you cannot find anything wrong there. Destroying one's country was really entitled the other to, it could give him the entitlement to eat you alive. When I became president, that was the same issue. 4 million addicts. With 4 million addicts, I told everybody, do not destroy the Philippines. We are still poor, and we're about in the last in the list. Kindly give us a respite of corruption and this thing about law and order. Do not destroy my country because I will kill you. And do not mess up with me. Do not with the young because I will kill you. And so I'm sure that everybody realizes that I am popular because, not for anything, I've appeared in so many articles and covers of Time magazine and branding me as a killer. So be it. What's wrong with the leader protecting his country and killing you? You're an enemy of the state. My dream is just to make my people comfortable. And if there's money, it's not actually really the business of taxes. It's actually jobs. I'm not so interested about taxes. We can manage on what we have now, and we have, but what we have programmed for this year. It's really job. We are 110 million Filipinos. And if you continue to impose upon the people evil and things, and if I allow graft and corruption, this 110 million would face a very grim tomorrow. I have to do it because I do not want my grandchildren to be addicts or pass the problem to them to solve. And that includes the enemies of the state, the communists, and the terrorists who know nothing but destruction of lives and people. So if we get to be popular and human rights people, you know, Aung Kyi Kyi was with us. I pity her because she seems to be caught in the middle, being a Nobel Prize winner for peace, and this is the Rocos now. She is heavily criticized. You know, she's been complaining that we are talking about our country, the interest of our country, our own country. And I said, do not mind the human rights. They're just a noisy bunch, actually. Imperialism never stopped. It was started in my country 500 years ago. And the Spaniards stayed in my country for 400 years. That's why what you see now, the fragmentation of the islands is just the same in the Middle East. The imperialists went there, got hold of the oil, built their industries so big using the raw materials of other people's property. And when the time came, they divided arbitrarily the Middle East and divided into so many nations. And one got a prize. One country was identified with Italy, one was with French, and so on and so forth. And until now, America wants to acting like the conscience of the people and trying to police everybody. Well, that's the problem. You impose your values. You are very strong in that United Nations has have no purpose at all, actually, for mankind. We might, as far as I'm concerned, with all its inutility, it has not prevented any war. It has not prevented any massacre. And here I am, trying to protect my country, saying that I have killed 10,000, assuming it to be true. What am I supposed to do? Sit on my ass and allow my country to self-destruct? And they go into a very influential exercise all over the country. Now we have a guy there also playing with these atomic toys and putting our schedule to fly out. You don't need me to stop talking here. It would be an insult really to them. The Philippine Airlines plane can go ahead. I'll just take the commercial flight via Hong Kong. So they should limit. Look at what the country is facing today. There are so many contending values, even in the State Department. And you know, there were 6 of my countrymen. It's always a problem. Domestic helpers on the Philippines being raped and served food with the leftovers. And it's a universal complaint. They're only allowed to sleep 3 to 4 hours. And my God, these human rights, idiotic people in the Philippines never bothered. They harp on the criminals that they kill. Much worse is they don't really see. They say, Duterte 7,000. But they don't bother to turn the page. Why? Assuming it to be true. How did it happen? How did it evolve in this country? Where were they? And what is government doing about it? They stick on this 700 and they just brand it around. Give the EU copies and 7,000 killed. That alone is justice for them. And they want to hail me before the international. Well, I'm 72. I'll be retiring in just 4 years. But if you want it early and provide me a room and the books that I want to read, I have plenty now. We don't have the time. And maybe a conjugal visit once in a while with different friends. It doesn't say it has to be your wife. So just give me the minimal demands of a human body, and it's pure biology. I hope everybody understands it. So that is how I propose to do it for you. You're all welcome. I thank you. We need the investment. But more than that, it's really the work that you provide for the Filipino people. At this time, I said there are a lot of jobless Filipinos. But things are improving. Our GDP is growth is 6.9 last year. Well, one of the highest, they say I was competing with China and I think India and Cambodia. Well, maybe I am in good company, minus the money that you have. So if you want to share it with us, we're all Asians. We have, there's a thriving educational guys there. In the Philippines, there's about 4,000. In my city, there are about 1,000 Indian students taking up medicine. And I would like to assure you, your ambassador would tell you that we have been very protective also of them, the young people. It's not because that I am asked something for you. It's a standard practice of any democratic country to protect innocent people. But if you are a drug pusher, a drug lord, I'm sorry. I said, I never hid it, that I said, do not do it there. I will destroy you. So my orders to the police and the military and to the National Bureau of Investigation. Destroy our enemies. Destroy the NPAs. I could not be more than emphatic in saying destroy. Destroy the drug apparatus and the organization. I could not be more clear when I'm saying those things. Destroy, because if not, then we lose our country. Too much emphasis or importance for the libertarians about human rights here and there. If you put human rights ahead in premium of values, then one day, just like the 4 million Filipinos and the Philippines, you would lose the dignity to erode, derogate the dignity of your fellow men. If you want it raised to the level and dignity of an international demand about human rights. Really? So if you just allow them treat them with kid gloves, in the process, you are derogating and maybe eventual destruction of your own society. We are not the strong men. Nobody is strong in a democratic country. We do it by the rules. But I said, my duty says, I, Rodrigo Duterte, swear before God and the Filipino people that I will enforce the law against all. Met is a merchandise for the poor. They were grossly misappropriated. The rich guys there use cannabis. They use heroin, marijuana. But you know, they are made of poppies, naturally grown. They are plants. Methamphetamine is a concoction of chemicals. So that if you are there, you do not go out. Over the years, it would shrink your brain, and rehab is no longer possible. And I said, I am angry because they have reduced a number in millions of my people as slaves. Slaves to a drug which cannot be remedied. Slaves to a chemical that they will crave for every day of their lives. They are slaves of Shabu. And if you are the president, what will you do? Just remind me. Place a premium on human rights on criminals, then you derogate the dignity of your own people. So with that, I would like to, if there's any question, I'd be glad to answer. I hope that you'd come sooner. Let me know I can participate in the building of that structure if you want. Let me hammer the first nail. I said, I await your business with great expectations because of the promise also, which correspondingly also increases good jobs for my people. If there's any question, I'd be happy to respond. Yes, sir.
From Hinduja Global Solutions, sir, we have been there since 2003.
Oh.
We today employ one of the first Indian IT BPO houses to invest in Philippines. It's been a wonderful experience. The Philippines is our crown jewel in our delivery network. We operate in 7 countries. It's been a wonderful experience being in the country. I just wanted to thank you.
Are you talking about business or women? Our women are also wonderful. Okay, I'd like to thank you for having the trust in us. You know, and then you may sit down, please, if you do not have any more questions. Any country has a problem. You've been to America. What do you think? You know, you've been to the south side of Los Angeles. What do you think? But in my city, you can walk around. When I gave that warning, it's the only city in Mindanao where you can walk around, walk about every night. And that was what I ordered the police. Ask your wife and daughter, your beautiful daughter, to take a walk all over the city tonight. And if she comes home and your wife, unmolested, undisturbed, no disturbance at all, then that is the standard I want for every woman and child in the city. Those who violate that, I'm sorry. And also, in the movie houses, allow your daughter and wife to use it for anything. And if they go out of that washroom satisfied with the hygiene, with the sanitation. That is the standard that I want to impose upon you. You're doing business, you have the money. So I try to make it, I am not trying to pretend or throw emotions there. But it is always to have good leaders who are from, or at least who try the life. I can smell your sentiment a mile away by just looking at you. You come to the office teary-eyed, then I know the problem. So maybe because my interaction with different kinds of characters in the years of my trial work, I could sense it. You are there, and you ask question to the witness, and he has all itches around the body. And I know that you are concocting in your brain a lie that you're about to give me. I know when also to be the professional hold-uppers, the professional gun for hire, they would not allow the policemen to mold them or even kick them. I know when they are caught, and they would say they are on the edge. Did you commit a crime? Yes, sir, I did it. What else? Well, the other crime yesterday and the other day, I was responsible for it. Just do not touch me. Because it's the way of escaping the, sometimes you get information, not really torture, but fear. So they are the professionals. When they go, answer straightforward. Another one? Yes, sir. What else? Many, sir. I can. So these are the different kinds of character which I have encountered along the way. Hopefully I was able to use it and put it to good use. Anything else? Yes, sir.
Your Excellency, thank you for giving us an opportunity. I'm Srinivas, representing GMR Group. I'm the chairman of Airport Business.
We have invested, we are involved into projects worth $800 million in Philippines.
Yes.
And we are also happy that we won a recent construction contract for the Clark Airport. And I'm very happy to tell you that one of the finest countries to work is yours. We've been into multiple countries worth billions of dollars investment. But I should say, with the local partner Megawide, and with your own support from the government, sir, we are very happy and we are looking forward for some more investments in the future.
Yeah, thank you. I thank you for the statement. You know, I said I'm not so much about really keen on what kind of business, as long as it's not illegal. Mine is more of in anticipation of the jobs that are. So I said, I must know of your problems, whether it could be the connectivity of the islands there. And we will try to do something about it. The important thing is that you trust and that your return of investment is assured and you can go out with your profits. I am not interested in that. I'm only interested in my countrymen having work and productive. That is all there is to it, actually. And I thank you for visiting us. Yes, sir.
Your Excellency, my name is Naresh Khattar. I'm the owner of the farm in San Benito. The farm in San Benito. And I've been there now 10 years. It has developed into one of the finest facilities of the world. Today it is recognized as the best healing destination of the world. And it is all thanks to the people of the Philippines. You see, they are such an exceptional lot. The level of service which we can offer from the Philippines is incomparable. And all my staff is my local village staff. and they are outperforming anybody anywhere in the world. I really thank you that you have given me this opportunity. I would invite you to come and see what the farm is all about. A lot of your friends do come there, and please come and spend a few days at the farm and come and see what the farm and what a pride to the Philippines is the farm at San Benito.
Thank you. Just as might as well, I feel not so well lately. But is there life there, actually?
Philippines, you can't go wrong with the life.
No, you guys, first thing that you should be, I'm sure that you're worried, would be customs and BIR. I have appointed a military man, an ex-military man who used to be chief of police of my city. No problem. Then just call. You are just a call away. Why do you have to argue with them? Just say, okay, bill me right. You bill me the right amount. I'll pay. And that's it. BIR, look at in the box asking, no, just say, I'll tell the president about this. Maybe we can have coffee in his office. You, me, and the president. But be careful, I will be ordering boiling hot water for the coffee. And do you know, the face that will, where the fork of coffee would go. Anything else? I am a secretly, they say that I am narcissistic, egoist. Well, cannot do anything. If I am that, then that is me. But at least I do it for my country. I said, any business. Just avoid for foreigners drugs. Just anything. But drugs and if you smuggle about five ships, I might just listen to you and forgive you. But again, we're going home.
Mr. President, maraming salamat po sa inyo.
I have to go. I'd like to invite everybody, all of you, to Malacanang. You might want an Indian community group of businessmen. Yes, sir.
Sir, I'm Rex Doyanani, the president of the Federation of Indian Chambers of Commerce. Spoke to you the other day, sir. We would be very honored if you could invite our
Yes.
Indian community for our oath-taking in Malacanang anytime
Yeah, I
in February,
remember.
sir. Please.
Yes, I'll take care of the snacks. Yeah.
Sir, we would also take this opportunity to thank you for coming to India and for your amazing and continued support for the entire Indian community in the Philippines. Maraming salamat po.
It's my
Mr. President.
duty. But in Malacanang, we do not serve steaks. It's been my policy, just one viand, one soup, and one cup of rice. You cannot order another. It's for, you overload the carbo and then something goes on. Well, problem with what is good is that the medicines are very cheap. That is also one of the things that I came here for. So I'm interested in the pharmaceuticals. So may I have your permission to leave now? I was waiting.
Maraming salamat, Mr. President. 1